Labas vakaras visiems Kauno Žalgirio komandos žiūrovams ir gerbėjams. Mes esame Žalgirio arenoje ir kiekvieną EuroLygos vakarą mes turime tradiciją, šnekame gyvuose pokalbiuose su pasaulio krepšinio atstovais, su žmonėmis, kurie lankosi Žalgirio arenoje. Ir šiandien čia mūsų arenoje lankosi ir buvęs Šarūno Jasikevičiaus komandos draugas Liublianos Olimpijos klube, buvęs krepšininkas, taip pat dirbęs ir skautų Phoenix'o Suns klube, kroatas Emilio Kovacic. Emilio, nice to have you here in our studio.
Thank you very much.
As we discussed before this live broadcast, it's not your first time in Lithuania, yeah? You played against Zalgiris, you were visiting this arena, so how many times have you been in Lithuania so far?
I've been plenty, many times to understand how much basketball means to Lithuanian people, and I always feel good here. People are very nice, and of course they're crazy about basketball, which makes it easier for me. We can relate.
All right. What brings you here today to Lithuania, to Kaunas?
Well, currently I just came to spend some time with the team. I came here on Tuesday and watched some practices. I'm a long-time friend of Šaras, and I always planned to spend some time with him. And finally, I found out those days, and I arrived here and been here for a few days. Feel great. Spent some time watching him work. And I'm a better man now.
All right. So, as I understand, after that season with Šaras in Olympia, you stayed and kept in touch, yeah?
Oh yeah. After I finished my career, because I'm quite a bit older than Šaras, I spent time doing scouting,
yeah.
And I watched later Šaras play for Panathinaikos and prior to Maccabi, and saw him retire. I saw him become a coach, and we kept in contact, and it's really amazing how his career took off.
How can you rate Šaras' performance and thriving as a coach right now, as a new role in his life?
Well, clearly he's overachieving. I think if you look at last year, what he was able to do with that roster is nothing short of a miracle. To go into the Final Four, they were clearly not the favorites, even to be in the playoffs, I think. But every single player on that team overachieved, and that says a lot about the coach.
Where's the ceiling for this season, Zalgiris, in your opinion? Is this a top 8 team so far, or they have to prove it to be a top 8 team?
I think they still have some reserves. They had misfortune of losing some close games. But that's basketball. Sometimes you lose on a single possession, and it's heartbreaking. What makes it worse in EuroLeague, every game is important.
Yes.
So clearly, the team was not lucky so far. But if they keep on improving, which I think they will, same as last year, they kept on improving throughout the season. I think they have a chance. Of course, it will also depend on other teams. I think that this is a tough year, that there's a lot of clearly favorites that have much richer rosters than Zalgiris. So I think that the club has to be realistic and evaluate as far as whether the team is achieving according to the roster or not. So right now I think they're in good shape. I think they have a good chance because what I saw in workouts is they practice with purpose. They are executing, and they're competing. So I think all the prerequisites are there. I think it hurts them that Jankūnas is hurt.
Yeah, of course.
That's a big issue because a player like that, it's hard to replace. So I think that when he returns, I expect him to really take off.
Without Jankūnas, Brandon Davis putting amazing numbers. Is it enough for one good performance or a couple of good performances from Davis to compensate Jankūnas?
It's hard. He really is playing amazing. And he put team on his shoulders, basically. But it will take more. And I think, other guys have to step up and really, play even above their abilities sometimes, which, properly inspired, that can happen.
Comparing to the last season, Zalgiris changed almost the whole part of the point guards. They don't have any point guard from the last season. How is it important to maintain that point guard position well, and what can you say about this season Zalgiris point guards?
Well, I think Zalgiris is handicapped by the size of the budget. So you develop a player, like for example, what happened with Pangos and Micic. It's amazing. I mean, they came here with compared to where they're now. You know, when you look at where they were, it's amazing the step they made. And when you see Micic's performances in this season, that's amazing. I mean, why? You know, he spent a year in Zalgiris. You know, he was properly coached. He was shown what a point guard really is. He always had the talent, but his performances were very erratic. So last year, he got coached and really improved. So now, you know, it's for Zalgiris. Yeah, I mean, you educate two guys, they sign big contracts, but you can't keep them according to these, you know, to the rules.
That's the harsh truth, yeah.
Unfortunately, you have to invent a guy every year, which is really hard to do on a consistent basis.
What's your impression of this season main point guard Nate Walters, who from the first look he has NBA experience. He might be more experienced than Kevin Pangos was in his first season.
Sure, it's you can compare it a little bit, but I think he has room to grow, and I think if he takes it the way Pangos and Micic took the instructions and improve, I think he will be okay.
Talking about opponent team, Olympiacos Piraeus, 6 victories so far. What's your first impression about Olympiacos' performance during the first 10 games of the EuroLeague season?
Well, you know, they're going through a similar thing as Zalgiris went through, which is a big turnover in the roster. So basically, every time you have a lot of guys come in and out, it's an adjustment. So I think they're still finding themselves or trying to find themselves. And I also think, similar to Zalgiris, I think as the season progresses, they're going to play better and better.
Comparing to last season, Olympiacos at the first thing was like a bit slower team, a bit more physical team. Now with Blatt as their head coach, they play a bit faster, they orientated to the offense more. What can you say about comparing last season Olympiacos and this season?
Yeah, you know, Blatt is a different coach compared to Sferopoulos. They're both good coaches, but different. So I think Blatt has a good quality of really making sure that players play for him, which is not always easy. You got to win the players, and I think Blatt does that for the most part. So they're going to compete. They're going to compete. I think, as I said before, that coaching change always, it takes some time for a team to start to function the way it's supposed to. As much as Zalgiris has changed players, Olympiacos changed coaching staff. So basically, it will take a little bit of time for them to really play up to their potential. I think they also got room to grow.
We always talk about Vasilis Spanoulis and how big he is for Olympiacos team. Of course, Vasilis is not getting younger season by season. What can you say about his role this season? Is he still a big factor for this Olympiacos team?
Well, you know, he takes care of himself. He plays under his years, basically. He plays younger than how old he really is. And that shows that he's a professional, that he is passionate about the sport, that he's a competitor. And, you know, when he's on the court, you really are on your toes, because if there's one guy that can, you know, strike you and win the game by himself, it's him. So, you know, you always have to respect him. He's one of the greatest all-time EuroLeague players.
So Emilio, answer this question. How are you going to look at this match? As a neutral spectator, or are you going to support Šaras team? How is it going to be?
Well, I've been enjoying a really nice welcome here. So it's going to be hard for me not to root for Zalgiris. I have excellent relationship with Olympiacos, and I think they have excellent leadership, and we're friends. But they're not going to get angry because I really enjoyed this last few days here. Wonderful Lithuanian hospitality, and I can't help but not cheer for my former buddy.
Hvala, Emilio, hvala. Thank you very much and thank you for being in our studio.
No, you're welcome and good luck.
Tai buvo Emilijus Kovačičius, kuris apsilankė mūsų studijoje. Su juo kalbėjomės apie būsimas rungtynes tarp Kauno Žalgirio ir Pirėjo Olympiacos ekipų. Netrukus rungtynės turi prasidėti, liko tik 34 minutės. Likite kartu su Žalgiriu ir palaikyti žaliai baltus kovoje dėl 5-osios ir labai svarbios pergalės. Iki, mielieji.